For decades, regional conflict in the Middle East operated under an unwritten agreement. Conventional skirmishes were the norm, but nuclear facilities were strictly off-limits. That boundary dissolved when the United States launched a direct strike on Iran's nuclear enrichment program at Natanz. Iran responded immediately, targeting the area around Israel's Dimona reactor, the most sensitive site in the country's defense network. This exchange marks the transition of nuclear infrastructure from a protected red line to a standard military target. Israel's security has long rested on the assumption of a nearly impenetrable aerial shield, designed to neutralize incoming threats before they reach their targets. This defense is a sophisticated layering of the Iron Dome, Patriot missiles, and THAAD batteries, all working in tandem to protect high-value assets. Yet, during the recent Iranian strike, these systems failed to stop missiles from reaching the airspace over Dimona. If the most protected facility in the country can be reached, civilian population centers like Tel Aviv are no longer shielded by the guarantee of technological interception. With the reliability of the air defense shield in question, the primary mechanism used to prevent regional escalation has been neutralized, leaving Israel to look toward more extreme defensive doctrines. In an attempt to re-establish regional control, the United States turned to a geopolitical ultimatum to stop the cycle of strikes. Donald Trump issued a 48-hour deadline to Iran, demanding the unconditional opening of the Strait of Hormuz. The threat was specific. A refusal would lead to the destruction of Iran's entire electrical grid. However, the Strait of Hormuz remains operational for global commerce. The blockade is currently restricted only to ships allied with the U.S. and Israel. Relying on ultimatums based on an incomplete understanding of the local blockade provides no actual diplomatic leverage and shortens the window for a non-military resolution. The logistical reality of the American threat is complicated by the engineering of the Iranian power grid itself. This map shows a network of decentralized nodes rather than a single point of failure. To successfully black out the country, the U.S. would have to eliminate over 400 separate power plants simultaneously, a task that exceeds a standard precision strike. The threat reveals a disconnect between the political rhetoric in Washington and the technical realities on the ground in Iran. When a geopolitical threat is physically impossible to carry out, the credibility of American deterrence in the region is diminished. Israel now faces a binary choice: accept the loss of its defensive reputation by doing nothing, or launch a counterstrike that risks total diplomatic isolation from NATO. With conventional defenses breached, the military is forced to consider its final strategic failsafe, the Samson option. This doctrine permits the use of nuclear weapons if the state determines its very survival is in jeopardy. Dimona is the symbolic center of this doctrine. It is the site where Israel's nuclear program began in 1958, and it remains the ultimate emblem of the nation's survival. By striking so close to this reactor, Iran has activated the specific existential alarms that the Samson option was designed to address. With the air defense shield compromised and diplomatic threats falling short, the conventional limits of this conflict have disappeared, leaving the region at the start of an unpredictable escalation.